Well, hello guys. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. All right, let's face facts right now. Let's face facts. As much as I love Dak Prescott being my quarterback, right now it's now Andy Dalton's team for 2020. It's the reality of it. And the NFL is littered with players that got their job because somebody else got hurt. Think about it. Drew Brees gets hurt with the Chargers. Phillip Rivers takes over. Tony Romo gets hurt. Dak Prescott takes over. It's the way of the NFL. Now, we believe that Dak Prescott's going to be back. He's going to be healthy and everything else. And that's the way it is. Present time, if you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, if you follow that star, then it doesn't matter who's underneath that star. There's still a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. So I'm putting my faith right now underneath Andy Dalton. But we're still dealing with the ramifications of what's transpired with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys got lucky, got a guy in the fourth round, and he's ended up balling. Marcus Spears has some interesting take on this on ESPN's NFL Live. I want to show you this. This is actually a really good clip here. And it'll make you kind of go,
The 20.
Boy, he's hurt.
Dak Prescott's hurt. That is bad. This is your worst nightmare.
I know Dak's
It really
fight.
is.
It sucks. Honestly, we need to. I know we won, but it just sucks to lose Dak, our leader.
I feel terrible for him. He was having a tremendous year.
I absolutely hate it for him and definitely praying for him.
Just devastated.
One thing I know about him, he gonna fight.
We just gotta go out there and play for him.
I think what we saw was emotion from Dak because he loves being the quarterback of that football team.
You saw what Dak means to that organization, to that fan base, to everybody across the league.
I have no doubt that he'll bounce back from this, and this will just be another chapter in a great story.
You know, Dak carried the torch as the franchise QB in Dallas, as both he and Tony Romo boasted win percentages of over 600. Other QBs over the last 15 seasons haven't fared as well, going 10-23. Those quarterbacks being Kellen Moore, Matt Castle, Brandon Weeden, Kyle Orton, Stephen McGee, John Kitna, Brad Johnson, and Drew Bledsoe. Here's Jerry Jones on where Dallas goes from here.
We've got to be reminded that to have a team that we've got to really manage how we dole out our resources. Dak is deserving of anything you want to put on a piece of paper, relatively speaking. He's deserving of that.
This injury does not alter your thinking whatsoever about Dak as the face and future quarterback of the Cowboys, correct?
None.
None.
Marcus, let me just
really
reiterate one thing
convincing?
that Jerry Jones just said. Dak is deserving of anything you want to put on a piece of paper. Of course, this said now that wasn't the case back when they were trying to get the deal done.
Yeah, except the 4-year deal. Like that being on a piece of paper ain't gonna get done. Obviously, listen, I don't care, Laura. I don't care what they say. I don't care what anybody says out of Dallas brass. I don't care if they say he the future or Dak can overcome. We knew all of this before Dak Prescott got injured. Mm-hmm. We knew Dak Prescott was the leader of the team. Mm-hmm. We knew that he was a guy that everybody counted on. We knew how successful he was at the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. I do not give a damn. And what Jared gonna say? No, we ain't gonna sign Dak because he just broke his ankle. Hell no. I've been screaming this from time and time and time when we start having this conversation about this contract with Dak Prescott. If you have a franchise quarterback that you're sold on, a year does not make you not get to a long-term solution. Okay? So everybody not kumbaya. Everybody not happy and everybody want to bring Dak in and how great of a guy he is and his neighbors sending him messages and all of this type of stuff that's coming on the radio and in the media and everybody sending their condolences and all of that, and rightfully so. There was a time that Dallas could have paid Dak and made him their long-term quarterback. Just recently, before this season started, i.e., he's playing under a franchise tag. The guys that he was drafted with, he has a better resume, and he has more wins, but he is the one playing under a franchise tag. Not everybody nice, and everybody want to tell Dak Oh man, I can't wait till you get healthy because we're gonna give you all that money. Well, why y'all ain't do that before? Everything everybody's saying now, they knew then.
So it is Andy Dalton's team now. What are your expectations with him at the helm?
I expect Andy Dalton to be a straight beast at this position. Look, Andy
Got
Dalton is a
weapons.
good football player. Good
But that's not our
quarterback,
problem.
Surrounded by a lot of talent. All right, that's a great situation for him. I don't expect Dallas to win the division with Andy Dalton. I thought they could with Dak Prescott though. This will bode well. Look, Andy Dalton's a backup. He's playing with house money. You walk in, somebody say, "Hey, you got $100,000 on the table. It ain't yours. You ain't have to work for it. It's ours. We just decided to give it to you. Go out there and do what you will." That's the position Andy Dalton in. He can't lose. They already were doing bad. He can't lose.
Yeah, well, 78% of the Cowboys' total yards have come via the pass, so he may have to throw it a lot. That's the highest rate in the NFL. It is not going to be easy to move on from Dak. Good reminder that...
All right, so interesting take by Marcus Spears. Kumbaya moment right now, but yeah, you could have taken care of this stuff before. Now, the thing is as I listened to Jerry Jones say, yeah, the point that Marcus Spears made right now, you don't go through and say, oh, you know, he just got hurt, we're done. Nobody, I don't care who you are, you're not going to say, oh yeah, well, that's it, we're going to look for the draft, or no, we're just going to keep Andy Dalton. Now for Andy Dalton, his contract, which had basically a 50% snaps of the season clause in it, he's definitely playing with house money because, well, unless he gets hurt, he's going to be playing 50% of the snaps of the Dallas Cowboys season. So, you know, it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see what the Dallas Cowboys do with Dak going forward. You know, here it is. You're looking around. Here's the thing that you start looking around now is Matt Ryan, okay? Arthur Blank didn't commit to Matt Ryan, you know, now that they fired their coach. He's basically said, yeah, I know we like Matt Ryan. He's not going to say, you know, we're going to get rid of him and everything else. But because they signed to that big contract, he was the first $30 million man. Basically, if they cut him for next year, bring in a new coach who maybe doesn't want Matt Ryan, who's going to start all over and says, I need a younger quarterback, and they're going to have a high draft pick, well, it may end up being that they have to eat $40 million in dead money. Now, maybe they cut him later in camp. They can spread it out over 2 years, but it's still $40 million in dead money. You look at the Eagles right now. Carson Wentz had a better game this past week against the Steelers. But you're looking at it and saying 2017 was the peak. And since that time, regardless of what they say he has around him, you honestly have to look and say he's not that good of a quarterback right now. I'm not saying that he can't turn it around, but if you're the Eagles right now, you're looking at all these guys that are aging veterans. You're looking that you're at $263 million in cap money, and this guy's getting a big portion of it, and he's not producing on the field. That's where you kind of have to say, got problems there. So now you got Dak Prescott coming off of a traumatic ankle injury. I dare say that this injury is better than, say, an ACL. I know it's crazy to say that, but being at an ankle is a little lower to the ground. There's a little less wear and tear on that per se, because it's kind of more protected. You can wrap up an ankle really nice and tight. In fact, we always had our ankles taped. I hated having, oh my God, I hated every day before practice, they put that, you know, soft stuff. Well, they put the spray on it. They spray it first, and they put this membrane wrap on it, and then they just tape. And I mean, they would go through case after case of tape every day, taping your ankles. You can do that with an ankle. You can make an ankle, and you also see the guys with their shoes. Even the damn shoes are taped. You can protect an ankle. And a quarterback, being a quarterback, does not have to have a really loose ankle. If it's an ACL and a knee, that's a different thing, because when you set up, you've got to be able to have the flexibility of that knee, and you've got to be able to work with it. So you're actually better off with this kind of injury than an ACL. Dak will come back from it. The question will be is, will the Cowboys want to invest in him still with that big contract, looking at what's going around with all these big contracts with the quarterbacks and situations? I don't know. It's going to get interesting to say the least, but we won't know anything for months. So it'll be something that'll be great to talk about for months, and they will be talking about it for months. You know, Every time Andy Dalton has a good game, they're going to say, oh, the Cowboys are going to move on for Dak. Every time Andy Dalton has a bad game, how soon can we get Dak signed? That's going to be the nature of the beast. So hold on tight, enjoy the ride, and we'll see what happens come February. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, we just trying to bring you the news on the Dallas Cowboys.